Welcome to another review here on Right Round and Does Music, where today we're looking at the album I've been anticipating over anything else this year, Hollywood Undead's newest album, 5. I have a special place in my heart for these guys, as I was introduced to them back in 7th grade, where I was just starting to lean more towards the type of music I listen to nowadays. And back then, although looking back at how I'm going to describe this, it's kind of cringy, I saw them as kind of the line between the kind of rock-oriented music I would grow to love, and the admittedly shitty rap music I used to enjoy. Let's be honest here, Swan Songs was not the most elegant of albums. Hey, it was a good one nonetheless. I loved songs like Young and Undead, Paradise Lost, and Black Dahlia were absolute. If you didn't listen to those with eyeliner and an MCR shirt on, then what were you doing? That wasn't a really good example, but yeah, as their album cycles grew on and the albums came out, I found myself admittedly falling out of love with the band. American Tragedy was okay, it was still weird adjusting to the new singer Danny. Notes from the Underground was by far definitely their best album at the time, and then Day of the Dead came out, and oh my god, did things... Good lord, Day of the Dead was probably the worst album of 2016, and obviously the worst album in Hollywood Undead's discography. You see, we had the good songs in the overall discography like We Are and Dead by It, but then Day of the Dead comes around, we have the lead single, the lead track, same title. It was good. It got you pumped and ready. But then War Child came out. Nobody was too sure what was going on. Disease came out, and we were getting back on the train the Day of the Dead was going for. Then the album came out, and we had such amazing hits, such as Party by Myself and Why Does Everyone in the World Have to Fucking Die? Otherwise known as songs that made me physically cringe and want to put my dick inside of a blender. But yeah, just with the cheesy, trashy songs like those and oh god, don't get me started on Gravity. I heard the first single for this new album, 5, California Dreaming, and I found myself getting that same hope I had when Day of the Dead initially came out as a single. It was a great song. It was made for arenas. It was made for clubs, and just those little small venues where the volume can just burst and you can feel at home with the band. But I try not to get my hopes up, as I know that Hollywood Undead has a very formulaic way of putting their albums out. They'll release a very good first single that'll get you absolutely excited for the new album. The next single will be kinda iffy, then any other singles after that, you're gonna regret everything or you're gonna love it more. Take a look at Renegade, for instance. My opinion, not the worst song on the album here, but definitely the worst single out of the 4. Renegade, there was just nothing behind it. It was a very bland, tasteless song with lyrics that were trying too hard or just not there at all. There was no emotion behind the lyrics. Then you have a song like Whatever It Takes, which is a pure anthemic song, rolling back to We Are and Young. It just has the perfect type of blend of the rapping and the rock coming together to form a decent song. It just, again, built up the hype for this album. You know, when We Own the Night first dropped, I had to admit, I was sold and I was ready to invest money into this band if I wasn't already broke as fuck. Now, let's take a look at how each of the band members actually corresponds to the album. Charlie Scene, this is definitely his most lyrically strong and most presence-heavy album. You see him all throughout this, busting out his normal rap, his elements of the rock music. And he blends perfectly with, I can't believe I'm saying this, Danny of all people. Danny and Charlie Scene were the two people I can never really see fusing well lyrically. But on this album, in songs like such as Your Life and Bad Moon, you see those two just coming together without a hitch. Even Funny Man, who I'll admit is my least favorite member of the band and I see as sort of comic relief, he shines on this album in songs like Black Cadillac. The emotion in every single song is there without a question, and for once this is an album that actually feels complete instead of just a compilation of a bunch of singles that either hit the mark or miss it completely. There are times where things flop quite heavily, however, such as Pray Put Him in the Dirt. Johnny Three Tears, he shows off his ability to produce ballad-like lyricism in everything he does, but the song just feels weak in terms of the potential it had and what he's done in the past. Just look again at Swan Songs with Paradise Lost and Black Dahlia. Johnny Three Tears, without a doubt, beyond Deuce, beyond Danny, beyond everyone in this band, is the strongest lyric writer here in the band, past, present, and definitely future. But in a song like Pray, you see him falling, not being able to do what he can do most often. Now, something that's very heavy in this album compared to the other albums is the elements of EDM, which American Tragedies, the Redux version, actually experimented very heavily with Levitate, the Digital Dog remix, actually getting a single and a music video, if I do remember correctly. And as I noted, there are parts in this album where things are done great, and then they're done very horribly, and EDM is definitely a case where it can be done very horribly. Let's look at songs like Bad Moon. That is a perfect mixture of Danny coming in there with just this potent atmospheric sort of tone that he's putting forth there. But then you have songs like Cashed Out and Riot, where, oh, I have all this energy inside me, I want to build it up. What am I going to do with all this energy? Oh, let's start a riot. It's the cheesiest thing, and 3 Days Grace is rolling over in their grave. And if you don't think 3 Days Grace is dead, then wow, yikes. Where have you been for the past few years? But not focusing on the weak suits, let's focus on some of the strong suits of this album. Black Cadillac was a very mental picture painting sort of song. It paints this, as lyrics describe it, just very blatant image of the 5 of them rolling down the boulevard in a car, basically taking on anyone they can. And this was actually the first song to feature a guest rapper on it, that being Be Real. While I was interested to see what he'd bring with him, I was very skeptical and thought that he would honestly just bring things down and not be good for that album or this song at all. But surprisingly, he holds his own very well with the rest of the band here. So, looking back on this album, I have to say, without a doubt, this is their best album. It beats out Notes from the Underground, it beats out Swan Songs, and you can bet your ass that it beats out Day of the Dead without a hitch. You have the anthem rock songs, Whatever It Takes, California Dreaming. You have the rap songs Ready for the Clubs, Bad Moon, Black Cadillac. You have the songs that can be thrown away and never spoken of again, like Cashed Out and Riots. And like I said, every album has a Young, Undead, and Everywhere I Go, and then every album also has the Party by Myself, Outside, and War Child. So, lyrically strong album, EDM elements could have been done a little better, but they did drive the point home that there is almost a new sort of wave coming with this band. Who knows, this next album they could experiment further, or they could focus more on what they know. But for now, although as I said, I expected this album to be the best one in 2017, and while it's not the best one of 2017 by any stretch of the word, it's certainly up there and might even earn a spot in my top 10 at the end of the year. So, with that, I'm going to end the review here with a rating out of 10. I'm going to be giving the album an 8.2 out of 10. Hollywood Undead is finally ascending the step that they missed with Day of the Dead, and hopefully they can only grow from here. With that said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, dislike, subscribe, and unsubscribe. I'll catch you later in the next video.